My wife said it was too big. It's too heavy. That it wouldn't fit on Japanese trains. And she was wrong. This is the Level 8 Adventurer 28-inch trunk-style suitcase. And I brought it on a 16-day trip to Japan. Planes, trains, subways, tiny hotel rooms. I used it every single day as we explored 5 different cities and stayed in 7 different hotels. And we did almost all of it using public transportation. This video is my honest review of what it's like to travel with, how it held up, and whether I think it's worth the price. Now, Level 8 did send this to me for testing, but they are not sponsoring this video, which means I'm going to tell you the pros and the cons and let you decide if this is the luggage for you. Okay, like I said, I used it for a 16-day trip to Japan. Carried my stuff plus some of my wife's stuff. This included an extra pair of shoes for me and 2 extra pairs for wife. Also included 2 small pillows that we use wherever we go because I freaking hate hotel pillows. Really bad. Don't get me started. And we packed enough clothes to last a week before needing to do laundry. Okay, so with that context, let's talk about the luggage itself. We'll start with the size. Like this, it has 96 liters of storage and it's expandable to 105 liters. The dimensions are 29.5 inches in height, 17.3 inches wide, and 14.2 inches in depth in the unexpanded mode. It weighs 13.9 pounds. Now this is obviously the black version. It comes in black and limited editions yellow and black and something called Celadon, which is kind of a pale blue-green. And I wish I had one of the colored versions because they look awesome and it obviously helps your luggage stand out when it's on the conveyor belt at the airport. Let's talk materials. The exterior is German-made Macrolon polycarbonate. I don't really even know what all that means, but the interior is 100% rPET recycled polyester. I'm going to tilt this thing down so we can get a better look. This is the recycled polyester. It does have a lifetime warranty that covers functional aspects, including shell, wheels, handles, and zippers. This warranty is meant to cover defects in workmanship, and it does not cover damage sustained from airlines or misuse. Now, let's talk about some of these features because it has a lot of them. It's a trunk-style opening, which is awesome for Japan since spaces can be pretty compact. Almost all the storage space in here is accessible looking down into the bag. Lots of bags are trunk-style but have half the stuff in the lid, and that just really isn't the same thing. Now this style with everything in here, this style was a joy to use. It has these straps that keep the lid from flapping all the way over. Just a nice little space-saving design. And it just so happens that this is exactly how I like my camera roller bags too. I use the Think Tank Transporter series, which unfortunately is discontinued. But it's a great way to minimize the footprint. And a lot of times when I'm on site, I have very little space to work in. Now let's talk about the shape. It's closer to a square than a more traditional rectangle. Now I suppose there are pros and cons to both shapes, but I actually liked this because it gave a larger top to rest other luggage on top of, and it took up slightly less footprint, which was nice in these small hotel rooms in Japan. Now, it's got the 4-wheel 360-degree spinner wheels, which makes moving around in airports and regular style sidewalks a breeze. But Japan doesn't have regular sidewalks. They actually have a cool tactile paving system that assists visually impaired individuals with navigation. It's basically a series of bumps in the sidewalk in almost every public space that you go. But it's not super friendly to wheeled luggage. But this suitcase handled that without any issue at all. I think the wide luggage handle is pretty unique, and I loved it. Kind of felt like I was pushing a shopping cart. I think this approach Helps to maximize internal volume because you don't have the bars taking up space in the middle of the bag. Instead, they're along the edges, and your stuff can stack inside a little easier. Now, maybe that's a mathematical mirage, but the downside is that a standard luggage pass-through on most backpacks, it's not going to work. I found a workaround with the Wandered Transit Travel Bag that I took on this trip by using the backpack straps and then using a built-in compression strap to loop it around the handle and secure it. Now I'll be posting my review of the Wandered Transit Travel 35-liter backpack soon. Check the link up here to watch that. Now also the wider handle makes the bag way more stable when navigating over the bumps in the sidewalk, and also when pulling it as a two-wheeler. I've had bags that wobble side to side as you walk around, and long ago, I used a bag that wobbled way too much and it got so annoying that I had to abandon it during the trip. Now, like I said earlier, it's expandable from 96 liters to 105 liters. I only needed the expansion once, and I accidentally bumped into an older woman because I lost track of how much space I was actually taking up. So be aware that it is huge. Now, I did feel like mostly I could just keep putting more stuff in, and I never really maxed it out. It just kept being able to take more and more. Now, these green packing cubes, they are also from Level 8, and they're awesome. They've got a very nice fabric, has like the very slight hint of velvet style, and they're comfortable to the touch, and they have a few sizes, so it was easy to find just the right one. And this is one of the little travel pillows I was talking about. Here we go. I'll link to this one. This one's one called T-Comf. I bought it from Amazon, but I actually really like this pillow. It's perfect for travel, and I use a packing cube to travel and compress it down. Now I'm going to do a packing cube roundup video real soon, and I've got I've been collecting packing cubes for like months now, and I have like more than 20 brands represented, and some brands have more than one series of packing cubes. So I've got like 100 of these things. Now check this link here because at some point that video will be made and it'll be live and it'll be linked up there. So it does have some internal organization. It sort of doubles as a compression system, and it works as expected. This is where I kept my air tag, and I also kept an extension cord here. And this is the Anchor USB-C power strip, and this is what I always take with me when I travel because so often the power outlets aren't conveniently located. Plus with this, I only need a single power adapter, and I can plug in so many things. So this is great. This is a nice little attachment with just a button release. And there you go. These things fall to the side and out of the way. It does have a pocket up top, which is pretty spacious and can hold a few thinner items like books or thin packing cubes. It zips all the way down. This is the gravel toiletry kit, and I got this one just before the trip because I wanted a thin one for this kind of exact reason. I'll be reviewing this soon, so check the link up there if you'd like to hear my thoughts on this one. But it's a good spot for books and other packing cubes up here. Much to my surprise and delight, it also has a nice big pocket on the front right in here. It's a flat pocket, but it's large enough to fit my 16-inch MacBook Pro. Of course, it's much easier to roll this thing around than to carry it on my back. But I wouldn't check this bag with my laptop. That's just way too much trust. But it does have a TSA-approved locking system, which seems pretty standard, but it's a nice to have. Also, it comes with a dust cover to protect it from scratches while it's in storage. Let's talk price. I think you're getting a lot of nice features and a lifetime warranty. It's also pretty comparable or even cheaper to some other premium brands of luggage of this size and type. And I always look at price as being relative to quality and expectations. I want luggage that doesn't fall apart after a few trips. that reminds me of a story. I once pulled a cheapo suitcase off a conveyor belt, and the zippers had somehow separated. And so as I picked it up off the conveyor belt, all the stuff just fell out onto the floor. Just all my dirty underwear, just everywhere. And I definitely don't want that to happen again. If you're worried about price, the luminous large trunk 28 inches from Level 8 is both cheaper and lighter with a very similar packing capacity. And I'll be doing a review of that one later on down the road. I'll put a link right up there once that one's live. Now let's talk about some cons. It's kind of heavy. After getting this delivered, my wife took one look at this thing and said, nope, it's too big and too heavy for this trip. I told her, well, I'll be the one taking care of it. I'll be the one carrying it. And it gives us extra room for souvenirs. And so she let it come with us. I want to caution some of you about the weight and size of this thing if you're planning to do trains, because you need to lift it and put it in the overhead rack. Now, no problem for me. I'm 6'3", I'm pretty strong. But if you're at all concerned about your ability to lift 45 pounds above your head, then you might need a smaller option. Con number 2, zipper pulls have a weird curve to them, and it slightly impacted how easy it was to navigate the zipper. Now I'm nitpicking here, but there was just a bit of maneuvering in the fingers required to get the zipper pull in the right position to be able to make this thing work. Now, con number 3, and not really a con, but just something to be aware of. There are no external pockets and no quick access pockets of any sort. You'd have to stop, open it all up and get stuff out. So, you know, if they tried to add another pocket on the outside, we'd be talking about, you know, more production costs, and the price would just go up. Now, this isn't the type of bag that you normally need quick access to anyway. That's a little bit more for your carry-ons, but just letting you know, just letting you know. The handles are fine. They kind of have this flat position. They don't stick up that much. And when you need them, they kind of pull away from the polycarbonate. Now, I thought this did a fine job of keeping all my stuff secure. I really never had any doubts. And you can see some of the scuffs from having it checked for 4 international flights, checking in and out. So the baggage can get kind of beat up, and I'll show you in B-roll some of those scars we've already developed. So after using the Level 8 Adventurer 28-inch trunk suitcase for a 16-day trip to Japan, I can say that it performed really well. It carried everything I needed. It rolled smoothly and handled tight spaces without a hitch. If you're looking for a suitcase that's reliable, well-built, and has a lot of room to spare, this is definitely one to consider, especially if you're the type to take a lot with you, and we are. That said, I'm definitely curious to try some of the smaller sizes in the Level 8 Adventurer series, the 24 and the 20-inch carry-ons. And if you're not packing for a long trip, those might be a better option for lighter, quicker travel. Let me know if you have any questions about the suitcase or if you've tried it yourself. Drop a comment below. Let me know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more reviews like this one. And thanks for watching.